With more of a legal press presence regarding flexible working and agile working, and more about potentially for candidates' salary being less important than these new ways of working, do you think a client-facing business like a law firm can adopt a different stance?
I'm absolutely certain that we can. And I think experience has shown that the attempts we've made to offer flexible and agile working to a range of people in different roles have proved that they can be successful.
So what, if anything, are the hesitations of the legal sector approaching a more flexible approach?
I think partners in law firms can worry that new and different ways of working won't be as successful as methods that are trusted and tried. That lawyers who are working in a part-time way or in a flexible way won't be able to meet the client need. But happily, a lot of experience suggests that that isn't the case, and that there are a number of different ways of meeting client needs, and it can be done by people working remotely, away from the office, particularly given the improvement in technology that we've got.
And traditionally, the view of flexible working has been a part-time approach. What is that now consisting of?
Well, part-time working is one of the ways people can work flexibly, but I think now there's lots of different ways. We're okay for you to work anywhere outside core hours. So core hours are 10 till 4, and as long as lawyers are delivering to the clients and they're meeting their targets, they can come in the office and go home at 4 and do the rest of the work wherever they want.
So we've touched upon Pinsent Masons' core hours policy, which you talked about. What other practices have Pinsent Masons introduced in terms of flexible working?
We've had a flexible working policy for some time, and in the policy we set out the many different arrangements people can adopt. But I think we're seeing a shift now. The balance of power is changing. What we're saying is you can work in any agile method that works as long as you're delivering to clients and you're meeting your overall targets.
Okay. And what are the advantages from that more flexible approach, do you think?
I think people actually can often be more effective. Different people work different ways. So I think it's not a question of one size fits all. It's a question of being open to different individual approaches. And the key word is trust. So trusting people to be able to do their job and it not really mattering where they are. It's a great message for attracting talent and retaining people too.
Are there any areas of caution that business managers, partners may feel apply to allowing this more flexibility from their employees?
Yes. In a law firm, it's important that you have teamwork. People need to be supervised. People need access to a line manager. So it therefore stands to reason that if a line manager is often not in the office or the person they manage is often not in the office, sometimes the opportunities for proper supervision and communication break down. So I think a lot of care is needed from a management point of view if you're managing someone you rarely see face to face. And that's why we had the core hours working idea, because we wanted to make sure there was a certain time each day when everyone would be there, so a good communication could happen within the team.
Yeah. The core hours initiative that you were talking about was for a legal group, a corporate group initially. Mm-hmm. Where do the sort of business services side of Pinsent Masons stand on the flexible working piece?
Yeah, what we're finding though is that again there's different roles, and so a business services role that's providing very close day-to-day provision of support to lawyers need to be sometimes close at hand. In some other roles, in project roles for example, you can apply different levels of flexibility. So again, it is important that we have a culture of respect, we have a culture of trust, and we have a culture of openness towards new and different ways of working.
Regarding the take-up of agile flexible working initiatives, has this been across both sexes? There's obviously been stuff in the press recently in terms of employment legislation changes to do with shared parental leave.
Traditionally, we have had more women than men who are working in a flexible way. And one of many things we're trying to do is to make sure that women who want to work in a flexible way at a certain stage of their career aren't disadvantaged in any way. But interestingly, we are seeing men saying, this works for me too, and this is a very attractive opportunity.
Do you think an individual can have a successful career if they adopt a more non-standard way of working compared to the traditional working week?
Yes, I mean, I know that is the case because we do have some very senior and successful people in Pinsent Masons who do work in a flexible way. Even the senior partner of the firm has adopted some flexibility to his routine, which works for him. You could say he's setting the example, he's leading from the top. So I think we can say if the senior partner can work in that way, then probably most people can.
Definitely. Jonathan Bond, thank you very much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure, thank you.
And thank you for joining us on Totum Talks.